That's the worst single thing a male has ever said to me, ever.
G'day, this is Caddo and Waddo.
Woo!
I reckon we can do something fun, Brian. Let's do some fun questions.
Oh, no.
I'll ask them and you answer them.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Okay. If you could be anyone else, who would it be and why?
I'd probably be someone like Ringo Starr. So every morning I could wake up next to Barbara Buck.
Actually, that's pretty good because I didn't know where that was going to go. I like that one.
Please don't play that because I'll be divorced immediately. If that's
What is your favourite colour?
Oh, green. Absolute green.
Is it really?
British racing green.
Really? That's dark, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to go somewhere then. No, this is just question and answer. Okay, fine.
You might need to hold your mic just a little bit closer.
Brian, I thought you'd been doing this your whole life.
I've been doing it years, but I've had decent mics where you can hold it there and then
Are you a dog or a cat person?
dog every time.
Don't like the cats?
Well, it's just that they don't like me. I don't think they like anyone, to be honest. And they're just a bit offish for me, whereas dogs just love you unconditionally.
You've never had this stray pussy sort of come into your life?
Oh, I've always had dogs. And I'll tell you what, I've been out with some dogs too.
What is your favourite musical instrument?
The Gretsch guitar.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. Guitar's my favourite instrument, and I've never been able to play it because by the time I realised there was one around, I was already playing piano, and it just seemed it was so hard to do there what you could just look down and do easily. And now I regret it so much because I got to put up with other people playing the guitar and annoying me and not playing what I can hear.
Isn't that incredible? I wouldn't have picked that. That's a beauty.
You don't have to list you. Well, you don't have to. Oh, next.
What accent do you find sexy?
Liverpudlian.
Do what?
No, I don't. You can't beat the French accent. I mean, a late night, lovely Parisian gal speaking softly
Saying
over a
we.
giant cognac. That's the voice.
Really?
I've never actually had one of those, but I imagine it'd be fabulous.
I like it. Are you a morning person?
No, unless you count morning starting at 11, then I'm definitely a morning person. No,
You're
I'm
probably
not.
still coming home.
Yeah, finding my way home. No, it's just, by the time you get off stage and, finish the rider and all that and find your way home, it's pretty late. And then you can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep immediately, so I watch some dreadful movie or something. So it's hard to be up at 8 o'clock and cornflakes.
Did you know they found a bloke the other day at Broadbeach and they went out and when the ambos got there, had a wheat bix up his bum?
Did he?
Yeah, they're looking for a serial killer.
You don't need me at all, do you?
Are you a sports fan?
Yes, very definitely.
Are you really?
I come from a long line of tennis players. I know it's hard to imagine now, but my mother and father were both state champions in Western Australia, and I played from the time I was quite young, and I was all right for a while.
Really?
Yeah, then I discovered beer, music and girls in that order.
Tennis was gone.
Yeah, there seemed no point after that.
So you would have been to court in a different way than a lot.
Yes, I've been to court in most ways, actually.
I like it. I like it. Have you ever been mistaken for someone else? And if you have, who?
I was mistaken originally when I had the beard down like that and I was much younger. Someone came up to me and asked me if I was Kenny Rogers. And then ages after that, I had somebody come up to me and ask me if I was Billy Connolly. And I get that because I do look a bit like Billy Connolly. And there was one time when I was sitting in the Qantas lounge or something and my hair was all over the place and it was early in the morning and I was dreadful and somebody said, "Oh, excuse me," and I looked up like that and they said, "Oh, it's just from a certain angle. You look like that Einstein fellow." I don't know whether you can remember what Einstein looked like, but thanks so much.
Must have been a good rider. Do you have any hidden talents or party tricks?
I don't know whether I do. No, I don't think I have any hidden talents much, but I can cook a bit, but that's not really a hidden talent. But I do some party tricks. Unfortunately, they're not the sort of thing we can discuss. but they're quite well known within our industry.
What was your first job?
At anything.
Yeah.
Oh, my first job that paid money was that I was a public servant in Melbourne, and I would work for the Department of Trade Fairs, which was an incredibly interesting thing because it was in those days they used to send people over to all the various trade fairs, and our responsibility was to get all the stuff that went in our displays. It was fantastic. But I wasn't a very good public servant. I wasn't able to concentrate very much. But the guy that ran our division found out that I played in bands and I knew a lot of players and stuff. So he made me the sort of honorary talent booker for all the various shows and stuff that they put on during the year. So rather than do what I was supposed to do, I spent most of my time putting on shows for the public service, and it was great fun.
That's fantastic. I like this show. Geez, we're learning a lot.
There's a lot after you play all these, I won't be able to go out anywhere. There'll be people everywhere.
Have you got any phobias?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I can't do spiders.
No, me either.
I can do snakes. I've actually had snakes, as pets. Yeah, and they were pretty good. There was one great one. I used to have a snake called Rudy, and he was a Canadian garter snake. And this was when I was living in Los Angeles, and he was a great little guy. In the mornings, after he'd had his fish or whatever it was, he'd often crawl in my hair because he liked to be in my hair, and he'd sort of crawl in and go to sleep because there was so much of it. And there was one morning I was in the music room working, and there was a ding-ding on the door, and I went out and there was 2 Jehovah's Witnesses there. And they started on the thing with the spiel, and all of a sudden they just stopped speaking and stared at me. And then they turned around and walked as fast as they could down the driveway and got in the car and drove off just as Rudy's head came out of the front of my hair and crawled down my face.
Oh, no way. Oh, no.
Divine intervention.
No, I would have rather sat through the seminar.
Oh, no.
No, I can't do snakes.
Oh, this one was gorgeous. But I can't stand spiders or banjos.
Do you have any superstitions or good luck charms?
Yes, I do. I have, yes. I collect this Indian jewellery, turquoise jewellery from Santa Fe. And over the years I've gotten to think that this bracelet thing here is part of what I need to go out with. So and a couple of times I've forgotten and not put it on, and I get so paranoid I've got to come home and get it.
Oh, really?
I really, really seriously do.
What was the best advice you've ever been given?
One of the best pieces of advice I ever got given was from a bloke in the front row in a bar in Texas who leaned up and said, "Don't, whatever you do, sing that song again, or you'll never sing anything again." And I took him seriously.
Really? What was the song?
I don't know, but it was my father.
I love it. What's the best advice you could give to somebody now? Doesn't have to be musical, but just best advice.
It's the same whether it's music or whatever it is. It's been my thing all my life to keep trying, and I think in our industry particularly, and I know so many great talented people who just never ever really made it, and it was because they had all the talent in the world but no drive. They just, as soon as it got, oh no, that wasn't a hit, they got overwhelmed and they didn't do any more, or they, they did some little kinds of thing instead of going for a broke. I say that now when I talk to young musicians and particularly young writers, you just have to keep going. Just keep writing. It doesn't matter. It's not hurting anyone to do it, and one day you'll write one that'll get you over the moon.
Yeah. You know something that's interesting you say that, Brian, like Jimmy Little, old gentleman Jim.
Oh, yeah, I know Jimmy.
I toured with Jimmy when I was 15 and 16, 2 years. He was my roommate on the tour, and he took me under his wing thinking I'd be quiet. I'll take the young fella. And, it was a circus. There were some funny times. But Jimmy actually said to me, he said, you don't choose music. Music chooses you, and if it chooses you, you'll always find a way to excel.
Yep, that's right. You got to be aware of it choosing you, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You can get carried away with all the trappings of everything, all the guitars,
Yeah.
Some people collect guitars and, and they have all the best haircuts and the best shoes and everything. But you got to be really cognizant, I think, of where you're going and the things that you do well and just never give up.
Great advice. Great advice. What is the most Australian thing about you?
Vegemite.
Really?
It really is.
Do you like it?
Yeah, Vegemite, I adore it. And second only to second after that is meat pies. And I lived in America for a long time. And the one thing that I really missed, and it took forever for them to sell it in America, and then they only sold it really in Los Angeles. But I used to just couldn't wait to get home. And the first thing I did when I got home was I'd get a packet of crumpets.
Really?
And Vegemite, and they have to be drowned in butter, and then drizzling with, oh, my God. And I've never lost that vibe. It's still my favourite thing. So is that for class?
Right. Aussie as.
And then for a while I lived in Boston, and there was, there's not that many Australians in Boston. It's not sort of a place we go to particularly. And I was talking to some bloke in the pub one night, and he said, you like the meat pies. I said, that's not a Boston accent, incidentally. And I said, yes, that's part of our culture. And he said, there's an Australian guy who lives in somewhere in Boston, and he sells out every day from Australian pies. And I went down there, and he was a lovely bloke, and the line was around the block.
Holy dooly.
These are Bostonites, and we could understand it if they're Californians or something, they might be a bit more hip to it all, but these guys loved it, guys and gals loved it.
Oh, it's incredible. What is your drink of choice?
Well, I do like wine. And then in the afternoons, no, I do like, I'm a bit of a wino, that's what I really like. But I've fallen in love recently with a thing called, Long Island tea.
Is that alcoholic?
Alcoholic. It's got a shot of every white spirit.
Really?
Yeah, you can't have two of them.
What's it called?
Long Island tea.
I bet you it is. Long Island tea.
Oh, yes. So I do like that, but I don't recommend certainly more than one. I don't recommend more than one, but they are delicious.
So if you see Brian Cadd getting around, if you want to get in his good books, Long Island tea.
And if I'm crawling on my arms and legs, my hands and knees, you'll know that I've already found the Long Island tea.
And a fan.
And a fan, yes.
What is something that you're really bad at? We've spoken to a few of your wives, but you keep going.
Well, then you know it's the same thing every time.
No, serious. What's something you're really bad at?
Well, I think I'm really bad at being on time. I'm not very good at on time because I get waylaid and I chat with people and stuff. But I don't know if that's a really bad thing. I suppose I'm also bad at, all my life I've tried to write a diary because as a writer that's a very, very handy tool to have. I have literally hundreds, boxes of beautiful bonded and bound, lovely, notepads, beautiful. People give them to me for Christmas because I'm a writer and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And all of them have only got one page in them that's been used. I just can't concentrate. I just can't keep doing it. It makes me nuts and they're so beautiful. Anyway, so I'm very bad at that.
Is it the same thing you write on the first page every time?
Yeah, dear diary.
What's your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure is ice cream. And for that reason, I very rarely have it because I can't have one. I can't have one bowl. I can't have one cone. I've got to keep going till the container's empty. I am absolutely like that. So I've steered away from it so many times in my life. But every now and again, particularly in America because they have lots of amazing ice cream stands and stalls and stuff like millions and millions of different flavours. And I'll just break down one day and okay, this is the day. I'll have 3. lemon meringues and a thing. And I'll go for it because I realise that it's my way of sort of acknowledging the thing, you know. So I'll go over and I'll have an afternoon of complete ice cream folly, and then I won't do it again for 6 months.
That's fantastic.
But I wish I could be that strong with a lot of other things, but I have to be strong with ice cream.
Can you let me know when that day is, because I don't mind ice cream myself.
It's coming along right now after this, I think.
You beauty. Actually, speaking of American ice cream, salted caramel.
My favourite. Stop, be still my heart.
That, we had that in America somewhere, and it was just, I can't explain it.
No, that's the real one there. But, well, no, they have them here now. They've got them in you know, when those great big fabulous thingos in milk bars, and you take the things out and fossick around.
So good.
They used to be really hard to find. And now a great many of the cone people, you know, the ones that come in, they do that. So it's caramel.
Oh, yeah.
Salted caramel everything now.
Love it.
Oh, God. How long is this going to take?
If you were stranded on a deserted island, what 3 things would you want with you?
I definitely want my phone, which is a ridiculous thing to say because it wouldn't work, but it's just comforting to have.
Read old text messages.
Just read it goes through all my entire life. I would need to have one of my many bound books so I could keep a diary. And I'd want the biggest single tub of salted caramel ice cream you could possibly get.
I probably would have taken a boat.
Would you?
So you get off the bloody thing.
See, that's how practical I am. I prefer the salted ice cream.
You know, I would have picked that too. That was fantastic. What's your favourite place you've ever travelled?
That's a bit of a hard one because there's so many beautiful places. The ones that I like are mostly in Europe. I think Tuscany's got to be one of my favourite places in the world. And I lived in France for quite a few years on and off. So there's a lot of France that I think is beautiful. My single favourite city in the world is Paris. And it doesn't matter how many times I've been there and how many times I walk away going, no, well, I'll go somewhere else. But I still go back there all the time. I love it.
Did you know in another life we could have been married and happily married? Because Paris is one of my favourite places, and salted caramel.
Yeah, but there's a really big ingredient that you don't have that I'd need.
We could have went to Thailand first.
You would have had to have gone before me. Had a few reparations done.
Oh, jeez.
That's the worst single thing a male has ever said to me, ever.
Well, that's the 20 questions done.
Cut.